My whole entire life, I have been a gamer, and I'm sure many of you watching this video can say the same thing. And as you can see behind me here, I've got a lot of games that, I've had since my childhood, some that I've gotten when I was really game collecting, because for those of you who do not know, when I started this channel over 11 years ago, my main content was game collecting. I would go out to flea markets and garage sales and game conventions and buy up old retro games that I've always wanted to play. And while I haven't really, hardcore collected in, honestly, a few years now, it is still crazy to look back at the games I've gotten and all the games I've played over my life, and I really want that to be a big focus of my content this year. Now, I'm kind of going back to my roots in a kind of way, which feels a little weird to say, and when I say back to my roots, I don't mean Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated or Luigi's Mansion 3, where most of you have probably come to know my channel, but even before that, when I talked about retro gaming and gaming in general. Of course, I always talk about gaming, but in a more broad sense, I want to talk about the games that I like to play. I want to talk about other fun games that you guys might enjoy. Maybe I'll showcase a game to you guys where you'll see something that you actually might enjoy. So today's video, I'm actually going to be doing an overview of all of the games in my collection. Now, I'm not going to be showing you every single one. I'm not going to be talking about every single one. Hell, I'm not even going to talk about many of them. But throughout the year, I'm going to post updates to my collection videos that I've done in the past. The Nintendo Switch and the GameCube being the bigger ones, but of course I'll also update smaller systems, I have smaller collections for, like my original Xbox collection, like my 3DS collection, etc, etc. If you guys enjoy this video, I highly recommend dropping a like and subscribing down below to see all sorts of gaming content on this channel, as it's a direction I want to go this year, and I really hope it's one that you all like. So, without any further ado, let's get into showing off the collection. So starting off with what you can't really see is this top shelf. This top shelf has a real assortment of random crazy stuff that under normal circumstances you wouldn't usually see. Up there I have my Beta 64 Luigi's Mansion Hunter plush. I have this cool glass painting that Chris's girlfriend made for me 2 years ago. I have a bunch of random assortment of stuff, like a Japanese Mario Party 2, got my amiibos. I just got a bunch of random stuff up there. And of course, I actually also do have my PlayStation 1 collection up there because there's not really anywhere else to put it at the moment. So for now, it's just gonna chill up there. But yeah, I don't know what else to really say about my assortment of stuff up there. It's just kind of a lot of random stuff. And I will say, on top of my air conditioning unit up here is this Nintendo sign that's been with me since the dawn of time. I've always had that Nintendo sign kind of somewhere in my room. Maybe I'll find an old clip of when I was younger that has that Nintendo sign in it. But yeah, like I said, assortment of stuff in that top shelf. Moving over here, we have my Nintendo Switch collection. Now, I've actually grown to be pretty proud of this collection. I got a decent arrangement of games here. I have a lot of the standard, normal titles like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Smash Bros., Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey. Of course, I have my genre, like Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Party Superstars, and Super Mario Party, the SpongeBob games. But then I also have some of the nicher titles that, I feel like more people should give a chance to, like This War of Mine, Return of the Obra Dinn. I have the Life is Strange games. I have a bunch of variety on the Nintendo Switch because a lot of people always kind of just associate me with loving Nintendo and Mario and all that, but really my gaming tastes are a lot more broad than just that and can't be just, defined to just Nintendo and Mario. So I think my Switch collection perfectly encapsulates a lot of my gaming interests. The main games I don't have are the Pokemon games and stuff like that, because Pokemon, not my cup of tea. I don't have the Kirby games, because again, Kirby's not my cup of tea. But I have most of the other kind of notable, well, not really, actually. There are quite a few big ones that I'm missing, but I'm perfectly content with where my Switch collection is at. Oh, and I do have here the Luigi's Mansion 3 statue from First 4 Figures. Actually, this is number 50 of the limited edition set. I don't know what's limited about it, besides the fact that it has a number at the bottom, but I got number 50 out of 5,000, which is pretty cool. It's a really cool collector's piece. I really like it. it's, yeah, really cool thing, and that's my Switch collection. Alright, so this shelf here, these two shelves are kind of my real miscellaneous kind of whatever goes here shelves. Now, this top shelf actually does have a little more of a consistent theme, being Luigi's Mansion. All of my Luigi's Mansion collectibles are up here, from my Japanese Luigi's Mansion 2 figures, some of my Nintendo Lego Luigi's Mansion figurines. I got the Joyride Studios Luigi's Mansion figure. I got the Club Nintendo Luigi's Mansion 2 figure. I got most of the heavy hitters up there. Obviously, the Luigi's Mansion 3 statues over here because it wouldn't fit up there, and there's some other Luigi's Mansion stuff that wouldn't fit up there, so it's other places on the shelf as well. Like my little Gold Ghost plushie down here, which is on the other little random oddities shelf. This shelf, I'm still kind of wanting to work on a little bit more because it's not up to my satisfaction yet. But I do got some DK bongos on display, got some action figures of Bowser, Banjo-Kazooie, Deku Link from Majora's Mask. I got a couple of my Life is Strange comics over here. These ones are actually doubles that I have. And then in the back, I have, you can't really see it, but it's a Mario and Rabbids art book from Sparks of Hope that actually was signed by a couple of the artists, who did the concept art for the game, which is really freaking cool. So yeah, this is a real miscellaneous shelf here, but I do kind of like it. It shows off that I do like more than just games. I also like the collectibles and like the little oddities of the game franchises I really like being able to show off a comic book, and some little action figures, and a custom-made plushie is pretty cool. Alright, now we've reached over here. So at this top shelf here is my little shrine to Battle for Bikini Bottom. It's my Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated, the remake, the collector's edition, all of the stuff out on display, the 3 figures, all the tikis, etc. This thing was $300, so I gotta get my money's worth and put it all out on display and show it off in every video. I do really like actually how the display looks though, just the 3 statues next to each other and the tikis lined along at the bottom. I don't know, I think it looks really good. And then starting on this shelf here, we have my GameCube collection. Now this goes down quite a few more shelves, so you'll see more of my GameCube collection as we go further down the shelf. But yeah, this is just the start of my GameCube collection. I think I have like 150 games for the GameCube, making it my biggest collection, but I will talk more about that when we go further down. Moving down, we actually do get to see more of the GameCube collection. This was the shelf that was, that we just showed. These are the next 2 shelves. These actually do have a lot more of my heavier hitting titles. I got, the Pikmins, I got Mario, Mario Party, Mario Kart. They're not in any particular order, but, it's just my GameCube collection, I'm glad I collected GameCube when I did, because nowadays, collecting for the GameCube is just so much of a pain because of how expensive everything is nowadays. I was lucky to really be game collecting at a time when, not that everything was cheap, but it was easier to find things. You could go out into the wild, and not everyone was using, eBay or, reselling. It wasn't like that, it was like that a little bit, but not to the extent it is now. Now, in terms of, my GameCube collection, my most valuable game, the game that, has the most worth in my collection, it actually would be this one right here. I think it's still the most valuable game in my collection. That's Fire Emblem. So, I don't have, Cubivore or, a lot of the, really obscure, expensive stuff, but I think Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is my most valuable GameCube game, and I got it at a flea market for $5. I don't know if that's even possible nowadays. Maybe it is, but I played it a bit, and it's fun. If you like Fire Emblem, I'm sure you'll like it. But yeah, this is probably the gem of my GameCube collection value-wise. But I do also have games like Chibi Robo, which is pretty valuable. I have a decent collection, and I've really grown it up over, the last 10 years, even though I really haven't gotten that many games for it over the past, I would say, 5 years or so. I've really, added, a small amount of titles to it. But nevertheless, I do love my GameCube collection. And then you can kind of see some miscellaneous stuff over here on the sides. I got my Left 4 Dead med pack, and I do have a Left 4 Dead poster up there that you probably saw a little bit in the last shot. I got this cool Mario Party 5 poster hidden back here that my friend Jared gifted to me, probably close to 10 years ago now. It was a while ago when he gave me that poster, and I still absolutely love it. It's from, a Nintendo Power magazine, I'm pretty certain. But yeah, you know, a lot of little oddities over here, and I don't know. I love this area because it really does represent me with my Left 4 Dead med pack, my GameCube games, the Mario Party poster. Like, it's just me over here, and I really do like this area. Right, coming over here, there's a lot more interesting stuff over here too. So this shelf right here is kind of like my retro boxed collection. Now, specifically, I do like how things look in the box. I mean, obviously, games that have cases, very obviously, but cartridges as well. Like seeing all the cartridges in a row like this is somewhat satisfying, but there's something about having the box and, like, you know, being able to just pull it out and, like, you know, like let's say this one, Pinocchio, like, looking at the art on it, and, you know, it's just, I don't know, there's something so special about holding a box, especially when it looks nice. And, you know, I don't have that many. I mean, this is a decent amount of boxed games, but these are my boxed Super Nintendo, N64, and GBA games here. A lot of my collection. I mean, the thing is with these ones, it's less about how many that I have, and it's more about the quality of the games there. You know, I got like for the Nintendo 64, I got like a lot of the major ones, like Super Mario 64, the Mario Parties, I got Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Yoshi's Story. But then for like GBA, basically the GBA games are just the ones that I really, really like. You know, there's both of the handheld Mario sports games, being Mario Golf Advance Tour and Power Tour. Freaking love these games. Very happy to have them in the box. Of course, I have Mario Party Advance, another really good one. I mean, I mean, not if you like Mario Party, but like as a little fun single-player minigame romp. Like, you know, I got my quality here, and I think it is really, really good. And then down here, I have all my Super Nintendo games. I'm surprised. Like, I remember when I was unpacking all this stuff, I forgot just how many Super Nintendo games I had. And a lot of the heavy hitters, too. You know, I got Super Metroid, got Illusion of Gaia, obviously I got Chrono Trigger complete in the box, got Super Mario Kart complete in the box, got Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. I got basically all of the must-haves on the Super Nintendo, and I think the Super Nintendo collection is actually one of the more surprising collections because, like, it actually does have a lot of the heavy hitters in there. So I'm very happy with my Super Nintendo collection. Same can't be said, though, for my NES collection. It's very small, very minuscule. I just don't care much about the NES. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't know, just don't care for it. But I do have a couple games, Tetris, Golf, Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, World Class Track Meet. I got Life Force, which is a pretty good one. And then I have some loose N64 games, like, you know, I got, you know, Glover, you know, the classic Glover. But like Pokemon Snap, GoldenEye, like, those ones I have loose. But yeah, so there's my real retro collection. Oh, and I do have these as well. These are my Game Boy Advance SPs. I have two of them. I have this, NES limited edition one, which is really, really freaking cool. And I got this, blue one. The box is actually around here somewhere. You know, the box that this came in, it's around here somewhere, but, you know, but I do love these things. I actually do want to, there is one more Game Boy Advance SP that I want, and it's the Tribal Edition, which I know it's very rare, but that's the one I actually had two Game Boy Advances as a kid, because, like, one I lost, and then I got another one. The Tribal Edition and the Pikachu Edition. Both of those are special editions and hard to find, especially with that Pikachu one, it's expensive. So I haven't been able to re-get those yet. But I do hope to get those someday, purely for nostalgia's sake. I know there's, like, you can buy, like, the cases, like, you can buy, like, you know, knockoff, like, shells that you can replace, like, a GBSP with, but I do want the originals just for that authentic feel. Alrighty, so now we move on over here to a lot more of the stuff that probably not many of you care about too much, but I have my Xbox One and Xbox Series X collection up here. A lot of modern stuff there, obviously, because it's the Xbox One and the Series X. I do have my Smoker figure here, though, from Left 4 Dead. I think at some point I'm going to put him up there with the other miscellaneous stuff, just because he'll be more up front and center there. But for now, I have him here. I have my 3DS and DS collection down here. The DS is at the very tail end. I don't have many DS games at all, but 3DS I actually have quite a bit. I played the heck out of the 3DS when it was the main console out and around at the time. I got well, not really. I mean, I got like all the Marios, and I got some miscellaneous ones. I mean, I'm trying to think of any ones that I really. Oh, this one actually I think is underrated. Epic Mickey Power of Illusion is a 2D platformer. I mean, many people know the Epic Mickey games, but this one's a lot different. It's 2D, but you interact with a lot of other Disney characters. The music's really good. It's like a 16-bit era platformer, but with a really, really good graphics, and it's really, really fun. I highly recommend it. But nevertheless, yeah, that's the 3DS collection, and then down here we have the original Xbox collection. I don't really have anything too crazy for the original Xbox. I think the most valuable game might be this one. I remember it was valuable quite a few years ago. It's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. And I actually did play it and beat it, and it is a really fun game. Though it's been close to 10 years now since I played it, so I do need to replay it again at some point. The soundtrack's really good because they do a lot of parodies or reprises of the movie's original soundtrack, and it's really, really freaking good. Yeah, I do recommend this game if you're able to nab it. But yeah, that is this area. Alright, so down here we begin to enter what I call no man's land, which is where all the unorganized stuff is that I didn't really know where else to put it. Well, this shelf, this one here is perfectly fine. This is my Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and 4, well, yeah, 3 and 4 collection here. Obviously, my PlayStation collection is very lacking from PlayStation 3 onwards, but I got a lot of the heavy hitters. I mean, Until Dawn, this was like my only PlayStation 4 game for like the longest time. Fun fact, they're making a movie based on this game. Freaking finally. I'm so excited to see that when it comes out. Then, of course, I also have the Last of Us duology, The Last of Us Parts 1 and 2. Part 1 is the remastered one. I actually just got done beating this. I will talk about it next week. So, yeah, The Last of Us, I freaking enjoyed this. So I cannot wait to play this. I'm probably already playing it by the time this video comes out, but stay tuned for ZakPak on Twitch, where I'm playing, The Last of Us Part 2 and all that jazz. A lot of great games here. And then, of course, for 360, I've got, like, Left 4 Dead. I've got Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, Dead Island, some Call of Duties. I got a lot of the standard, normal 360 games that most people had. Now, actually, this is my original copy of Black Ops that I played when I was a kid. And to share a little sentimental story, a couple years ago, I lost a friend of mine, George, his name was. I lost him due to a complication with the COVID vaccine that he had. And this copy of Black Ops is the one I played when I was a kid, and we played it all the time. We played zombies. We would go to around like nearly 100. Like I remember getting to like I think 98, I think, or something like that one time with him and our other friend Ben. So this game, it does hold a special place in my heart because of those memories I do have with George. And it's hard knowing he's not here, but I have that little memory of us in 5 or Kino shooting up some zombies. I don't know. So I do hold this game in a very special place in my heart. But I got most of the standard. You got the Halos and the normal stuff on the 360. Nothing too crazy. And then down here, the place is kind of cut off a little bit. Bunch of unorganized stuff. I mean, I got my PS2 collection thrown down here, my Genesis collection thrown down here, my random Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth Persona limited edition. I think I got it because it was like on sale at like Best Buy for like very cheap, because there was like kind of like a clearance thing, and it's like a special edition, so I was like, sure, why not? I think I played the game a little bit and I was like, I'm not too sure. But I got strategy guides down here too, a lot of my childhood ones. I got Mario Party 8, just strategy guides, and fun fact, actually, I did find this. This, is a drawing of King Boo that I did. Now this I did for a video that's almost 10 years old now. I did a video 10 years ago nearly called Luigi's Paper Mansion, and basically it was a stop motion paper Luigi's Mansion, video. And, this was the King Boo that was in, like, one of the ending sequences from that video. If you haven't watched that video, I'm trying to remember if it's public or unlisted. But either way, it should be available for you to watch. But, yeah, finding this this little relic of ZakPak history was really, really freaking cool. So now I'm just kind of chilling here with my collection. I might add them up to my Luigi's Mansion shelf at some point. But yeah, there's that random little shelf down there. Moving right along to this monstrosity here. So here, again, is a lot of an assortment of random stuff. So, you know, I've got some PSP games here, some loose Sega Genesis games here. And then these two, well, really mostly this one. This one's still pretty much kind of mostly empty. Oh, there's a Game Boy Advance original. But these ones are filled to the brim with Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, and one lone DS game being Golden Sun Dark Dawn. You know, there's, I mean, like, you know, a lot of the main, you know, this is Nintendo World Cup, so okay, maybe not the best example. But, you know, I got, like, Super Mario Advance, I got Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, so this is an extra copy of it, actually. Wario Land, got Pokemon Yellow, got another Super Mario Advance, I got Yoshi's Island, if I can pull it out here. You know, I got a lot of the main Game Boy titles here. So I think I have a pretty strong Game Boy collection. I honestly, I think a lot of these came from, like, you know, like siblings and family that, like, didn't want their old GBA games anymore, and they knew I collected games, so they were like, Zach, here you go. I was like, sweet! Even though I'd never really played half of those, you know, except for the quality ones. And then this shelf right here, this one has my boxed Donkey Konga, which is really, really lovely. I love that thing. I got my Atari 2600 games down here, and that includes the infamous E.T. Now, funny enough, I do have an Atari 2600, and I did play E.T. Did not beat it. The game is hard as balls, but I actually didn't hate it. I mean, it's Atari 2600. A lot of games on that console are very simplistic. But when I stuck it in and played it, I actually did not have that bad of a time with it. I genuinely did enjoy it, and I know there's the whole joke about them being in a landfill in New Mexico, but I do love that I own this little bit of gaming history, and the fact that I actually don't hate it is actually saying something as well. I have my PAL GameCube games down here, and I have my Wii and Wii U collection down here. My Wii U collection is, like, pitifully small, but Wii U games are actually really cheap right now, so I might try to boost up my Wii U collection a little bit, actually, just to, you know, get more games and, you know, beef up the collection a little bit. Especially because I actually do really like the Wii U, despite its poor performance and the lack of real good first-party support. Like, I still love the Wii U. It was quirky, it was weird, but it was very Nintendo, and I do love the system. Alright, we're at the very bottom of the last shelf. So, more GameCube games. We're back to the GameCube. There's more GameCube games. This bottom shelf has more of the filler titles and licensed games. But, you know, still some good stuff here, like Simpsons Hit and Run. Very, very popular game that a lot of people really like. You know, just licensed games, fun games, you know, Pac-Man. I see Pac-Man World 2 down here. There's some Crash Bandicoot. Spider-Man 2, which is an absolute classic that everyone kind of knows is a classic. You know, just lots of great games down here. And like I said, you will see an updated GameCube collection video at some point this year, so stay tuned for that. And then below, I just have some more miscellaneous stuff. The last of the GameCube games, because there's some that did not fit up there, so I had to put them down here. I got this cool Mario, I've had this since I was a kid, this Mario DVD case that I keep some loose games in that I don't have anywhere else to put them. I got this extra original Xbox, because why not? I have my boxed GameCube here. This is my boxed Indigo console. At some point, whenever I, like, really get my own place and have, like, a big room that I can really dedicate to all this stuff, I would love to get the rest of these colors. I would like to get black and silver in the boxes as well, but that's way in the future Zach endeavor. And then we have the box for the Luigi's Mansion figure that I showed you earlier up there by the Switch games. So yeah, that's everything. So there you have it, you guys. That is my game collection. I've worked on it so hard over the last, 12, 13 years, even like a lot of my childhood copies of games being in here. It's really crazy. Like a lot of it has lasted this long, and I really am happy with my collection, and I can't wait to talk more specifically about pieces of my collection as the year goes on. So, Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below. And of course, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of when I upload videos to the channel. Next week, I'm actually going to be doing a little showcase of the games I've been playing recently, because this year I do have a goal to play more games. You know, play more games for my collection and all that, and I've actually made a decent head start this year. So, I'll tell you all of that in next week's video. But for now, until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next one.